to let in more money, there is some form of negative belief or story that you have about money that you have to let go of. So you have to let go to then let in. And until I let go of these 5 negative beliefs that I'm gonna share with you in this video, I remained in a scarcity frequency. I also remained in a powerless state where I was working a 9-to-5 job that I hated, but I did it because it made money. But at the same time, I can see now looking back that if I would have changed these 5 negative beliefs and let them go, I would have let in me living my dream life, me living in more abundance to where I can travel the world, do what I want, when I want to do it in a way that I couldn't even imagine. And all I had to do was let go of these 5 beliefs. So I'm gonna share with you in this video how to let these 5 beliefs go, what life is like when you do it, and step by step how you can do that for you. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now, I wanted to make this video because I recently made a video that was on the habits that I used to become a millionaire. And I was a little bit hesitant to put out that video, to be honest with you, only because it kind of looks egotistical. It implies, oh, I'm this, and to be honest as well, just making so many videos on YouTube, I know that, the intention is to relate with everybody listening to this. And if I'm like, making videos about, oh, I'm a millionaire, then what that does is, I don't know, I guess I feel like I don't want to separate myself from other people and be not so relatable, but also I want to show you guys how you guys can do it too. Because for me to become that, and honestly, some people are kind of surprised sometimes if they hear that I am a millionaire, just because they still don't understand how YouTube works. They're like, oh, so you make YouTube videos? Like, how do you make your money? Do you just get paid on AdSense? Is it just AdSense and stuff like that? And it's much more than that. But for me to become a millionaire, it took me about a year and a half. You know what's funny? Not funny, just, I don't know why we say that, but when I was like 19 to 20 to maybe 22, I always knew that by 30 years old, I would be a millionaire. I just always knew that. And at 28 years old, I had no freaking idea how I was gonna do that. I was getting paid $60,000 a year-ish. It was a commission job selling women's shoes. And there was no end sight that was near that I was gonna be a millionaire. But then what happened is I changed these 5 beliefs that I'm telling you, and I started to really be this new version of myself, and very quickly my life changed. Now, I think that the moment I became a millionaire, now, being a millionaire is just kind of a status symbol. I don't put that in my Instagram bio or anything like that, but it's something that you also, when you become a millionaire, it's kind of like, oh, I guess I am type thing. It's like, oh, I guess I do have $500,000 in stocks. I guess I do have a $100,000 Tesla that's paid off. I guess I do have this that adds up to over $1 million in assets. Or, realizing you have investments and stuff that add up to it. But it's not like there's something, it's like, it was the same thing when I got 100,000 on YouTube. It was like I woke up one day and I had 100,000. The night before, it was like 97,000. Grew by 3,000 overnight because I have a video that was on letting go of something to raise your vibration instantly. It went mega viral. And all of a sudden I woke up at 100,000. And that was a goal for a long time. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Went to the gym that day. Everything was the same. It wasn't like the YouTube gods descended from the sky and gave me this amazing YouTube plaque. And I was like, thank you. Finally, I got it. I'm finally worthy. Yes. And from there, everything was amazing. It wasn't like that. And the funny thing is, then once you get to 100K, you're like, what about 250K? What about 500K? What about a million? And I'll tell you, and then getting the 1 million subscriber plaque, it was the same thing. These things are kind of like just status symbols, but realizing and not putting so much of these things on a pedestal really does help. To be a millionaire isn't a huge feat. I mean, I'm not trying to make people feel small and be like, being a millionaire is nothing. But at the same time, it's not, once you're a millionaire, you don't really see it as, oh my God, this is how I am. Like if I had my spending habits that I had back in 2015 now, and I had all this money, I'd be pretty stupid with it. I'd buy stupid stuff. It would, I'd lose it quickly because I would sabotage it. But it's about realizing there is no moment when you've made it. Once you make $1 million, you'll then be looking at, you want to know what your problems are when you start making $1 million a year? It's how can I write off a lot of my stuff so that I'm not paying $400,000 to $500,000 of tax And once you make $1 million, you got to pay 40% of that to tax. So, and then you start building a company. Then you got even more expenses. Then you buy a house, and then you want to sell the house. But if you sell the house, you're going to have to pay 40% to capital gains, which means you got to pay tax for everything. These are millionaire problems, I guess you could say. But I'm just trying to kind of show you that it's never really like you've made it. Because now that I make, like more than $1 million a year, it's like now the goal, it just keeps amping the goal, and there's bigger systems I want to build, bigger businesses I want to build so that I can like influence more people. So it's like a resource. But anyways, one of the number one things and beliefs that I had to change to become a millionaire is I had to let go of a belief that I got in 2012. This belief was I started to study that of how reality works, conspiracy theories and stuff like that. I realized, oh my God, money's not backed by gold. How will I ever survive? Just knowing this little idea. So what happened is I developed a belief that said that money equals bad. Money is bad. There's like fire all around me. Money is not good. It is bad. If I want to be spiritually awake, I cannot also at the same time have money. Because if I had money, I would be a naughty, naughty, bad boy. That's what I believed. So what did I do? I was living with my mom and my brother and my sister in this house in the middle of nowhere in Sloan, Nevada, which is right next, it's close to Vegas, but I said, you know what? This job I had, this low vibrational job that gets in the way of my Sunday meditations to elevating human consciousness, it gets in the way of my meditations of helping the consciousness ascend. So I went into work one day and I said, guess what? I quit. I didn't even put in my 2 weeks. So even if I wanted to go back there, I couldn't because I put in my 2 weeks. I burned the bridge. So what did I do? I went to my mom's house and I mooched. Pretty much. And I was like, money's bad. We're going to ascend into a higher level of consciousness eventually. I don't want to be a part of this negative system and 3D reality. So I'm just going to meditate. I'm going to sun gaze. I got really tan. I grew out my hair. I got really skinny because I went vegan like that and was just like eating foods that, I lost a lot of weight. And it was like this reality where money equals bad. Then eventually, about a year later, I was like, I got to get a job. I got to get a job. I was super resistant to get a job, but I went to this like lady that did this kinesiology muscle testing stuff, and she was super accurate about a lot of stuff. I was like, does Spirit want me to get a job? And she was like, yes. She's like 80 years old. She's like, yes, I'm getting a strong yes. I'm like, can you do it again? Does Spirit want me to get a job because of something that I asked it in like 80 different ways? And then eventually I was like, okay, Aaron, you got to get a freaking job. So then I was like, no. And then I applied at Barney's, New York, which is like a higher end, women's shoes, same industry I was in before. I got the job like that. I was like, okay, maybe I meant to have this job. But what I had to do is I had to really reframe, even years later when I got on YouTube, that spirituality and money are able to be in the same boat. Think about this. You want to think, money is bad. Money is bad. People sometimes, maybe you're listening to this and you're like a person with gifts and like you could just be a spiritual coach or something like that. And I know because I've also talked to a lot of people that are spiritual coaches and helped them, go full time. And the biggest block they have is like charging for their services because it's also a self-worth thing. I'm not worthy. We'll talk about, I don't want to spill the beans, but I'll talk about that in a minute. But it's like, think about this. Money is bad. Money is bad. Money is a meaningless idea. It is something that we as society give meaning. And what we do is money is an exchange of value. Everyone type that down. If this is alive, I'd be like, type it in. Money equals exchange of value. Instead, can you comment below, money equals sign exchange of value? Just to know that it's sank in, because that's what money is. Money is energy. And the more goods you put out, the more goods you get back. And if you could solve people's problems and find systems of adding value, I do that by making 2,000 YouTube videos, free videos that I put out. There's some people that want to buy courses, become a part of my challenges and stuff like that, and it's because I've put that good out for them to find me to then come back. And the belief I had to let go of that money is bad and I should not charge for my services. And one of the other reasons is, think about this. You've got horrible, horrible companies that maybe that's my own belief system. I'm wearing red. I could be representing Coca-Cola right now, okay? So Coca-Cola. Everyone loves Coca-Cola, right? It's the classic polar bear. Like, it's been around. Like, Santa Claus drinks Coca-Cola. All these celebrities drink Coca-Cola. Michael Jackson drinks Coca-Cola. Don't you want to drink Coca-Cola? But not just that. Let's put sugar, toxins, and let's put corn syrup, toxins in it, and let's give it out. And and sell it and get everyone to buy it because we put emotional advertising in, and then you just say, I want Coke, I want Coca-Cola. So what happens? You buy Coca-Cola, but guess what? Corn syrup and sugar can very much cause disease and cancer. So here it is, and most people would not argue and say, well, of course, you buy a Coke, you pay $2 for the Coke, you exchange the Coca-Cola for the $2. Duh, that's called business. But then people have these amazing spiritual gifts that could honestly, coaching someone could change someone's life. But they say, no, I'm not going to charge for my spiritual gifts. I'm going to put this in a separate category, but I will pay $2 for that Coca-Cola, please. You see what I mean? It makes no sense. You might have a gift that can add value to people, but money is not bad. Money is an exchange of value, and if you're putting value out into the world, that value will come back to you. Some people do that via donations and Patreon and stuff like that. But I find it to be more powerful when you're actually giving away something or exchanging something of value for some amount or something like that. Because when people buy in, they tend to pay attention. When people pay attention. It's true. I'm sorry. I wish it weren't, but it is true. So money equals bad. Not true. I had to let that go for me to make money. You think if I was making millions of dollars right now and I thought that money was bad, I would be a very naughty boy. I'd be like, no, this is bad. I'm not gonna ascend into the fifth dimension, drink kombucha, and play with puppies all day long. I would be like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this. I'm doing the Luciferian agenda and all this like conspiracy stuff. Okay, so even some of you that I know like conspiracy theories, okay? I get it. Money ain't backed by gold. I know. But guess what? If we remain in that, money is bad, you're not gonna attract it. It's like, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad. Come to me, I actually need you to pay my bills, but you're bad, you're bad. It's like you're gaslighting in a narcissistic way this little meaningless thing called money, which is just an exchange of value. So instead of saying you're bad, you're bad, you're bad because I have spiritual beliefs and conspiracy beliefs that because you're not backed by gold, I get it, it ain't backed by gold, but still at the same time, you don't want to be gaslighting the very thing that you need or want to attract into your life so that you can have resources to create other things for yourself, okay? So that's the first thing that you really want to let go of, that I had to let go of in order for me to get to this next level. Now the second thing is abundance in general. For me to become abundant, I had to drop my belief that the only modality of abundance is money. So first off, money is not bad, but money is not the only form of abundance. I've had people give me things before. I got gifted when I first got on YouTube and I started to become abundant. I got called by this place, this life transformation place in Costa Rica that said, hey, Aaron, if you want to come here, you can come here for free. $5,000 trip normally that people would pay for. Luxury place, come here for a week. All you got to do is make a couple YouTube videos talking about it. And I'm like new on you. I'm like just went full time with my passion and stuff on YouTube. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. That's a form of abundance. I went for a week with my best friend, Victor Otto. That's actually probably what helped make us best friends. We're best friends united. He's also a YouTuber. And guess what? From there, it was like, it was a new level of abundance. I have opportunities that come alive. Now that I've created success, people give me shit. I've got companies that send me shit for free. I don't even got to do anything. I don't know, sometimes they find my address or they get it from my assistant. And yes, I have an assistant. Does that make me less relatable now that I said that? I'm kind of afraid sometimes of sharing things like that because it's like people aren't going to be able to relate to me anymore because I don't have the same problems I had 5 years ago. But that's another part of it. I get to buy my freaking time back. I've stopped. That was another major epiphany, by the way. I was talking to this guy that does my finances and stuff, and he's like a high-level business dude. And he's like, Aaron, you no longer have money is not like the thing that you have to look at saving. So it's not like, don't hire an assistant because I'll save money. You want time. Time. Time is more valuable than money. And when I realized that, I got an assistant because now she knows everything. She knows everything for me. I'm moving into a new house next week. I know I'm bragging now, and now you look even more relatable, but I'm moving into a new house. You're going to see that in probably the YouTube videos. You will for sure. And when I do, I had her take care of everything. Like literally, everything's being moved from Sedona there, and I don't got to do shit because abundance, right? That's a form of abundance. I have that ability to hire someone to do this stuff, and she gets paid really well. She gets paid really good to do that. And she's happy, and I'm happy. Okay? But in general, realize that money is not the only form. What if someone gives you something? I've had people offer me jobs when I'm in an abundant state and I was working at Nordstrom's and women's shoes. I've got sponsorship opportunities come in. You want to know another form of money that isn't also backed by gold, but I think might be legit one day, is Bitcoin. I have Bitcoin. I like Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Okay, it's not, some people would say, it's not money. I just want dollars. I just want dollars. What about Bitcoin? Okay, that's money, that's abundance. It's a form of abundance. You're gonna say, you're bad, and then Bitcoin, you're bad too. No, just realize it's all an exchange of energy. So, you got to align with your belief systems. I'm not telling everyone to go buy Bitcoin. I'm not even a financial, who am I? Just some guy, right? Some guy on YouTube that just makes videos. So that's the second thing. Don't limit your level of abundance by just saying, oh, I only focus on money, I focus on money, I focus on money, I focus on money. Because money is not the only form of abundance. Now let me see what I wrote down in my handy dandy notebook. Now here's the third thing that you have to realize, a negative belief you must let go of in order to make more money. You guys want to know what it is? Money is hard to make. And I will agree with you. Money is extraordinarily hard to make. Now, before you spill your kombucha and you get all mad and you're like, Aaron, I thought you were going to tell me the opposite of that. Think about this. Making money is actually illegal. If you were to get counterfeit money and you were to make it, or you were to try to make money or steal a machine from the government to make money, you could go to jail. So I'm not here to let you or to tell you that that's something you want to do. That's not what you want to do. You don't want to make money. You will go to jail for making money. So money's not hard. Money is hard to make. It is hard to make. And it is illegal to make. But money is much easier to acquire. English language that you can kind of get crafty with, right? But our beliefs create our reality. So you're sitting there going, money's hard to make. Money's hard to make. And it's like, yeah, it is freaking hard to make. It's like very few people do it, right? If you've seen the movie Catch Me If You Can, he makes fake checks. But guess what? He went to jail and stuff. He got in a lot of trouble. Tom Cruise was pulling Leonardo DiCaprio out of some place where he was throwing up and almost gonna die. Well, then he tried getting away again, but it was this horrible thing, but basically it's based on a true story. Now, what is my point of this? Is don't try to make money resonate with a version of you that is adding value into the world, and that money will come back to you. I just focused at first on YouTube, just making valuable videos, adding value. How can I add value? Because what you put out is what you get back. So don't focus on making money. Don't even focus on the money. Focus on the passion. What do you love doing? How can you add value? These are things that will change your life if you focus on them. How can I add value? And as you start putting that good out into the world, it will start coming back to you. I used to even know when I worked my 9-to-5 job, if I went in and I was focused on you giving me your money so I can make my goal of selling $5,000 a day because I get paid this % commission and $5,000 it was this thing where I was looking at people, I was dollar signs. But then if I went in and I just had fun, if I went in and I was focused more on adding value and increasing their emotional state and just joking around, I would just focus on connecting with people. And guess what happened from that? I connect with people and then the abundance would come. They're like, okay. They're like, ha ha ha, funny joke, Aaron, ha 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 ha. And then they're like, okay, I guess I'll buy the shoes because I'm in a positive state now, ha 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 ha. And then we just, ha ha ha, all the way to the register. And then I'd ring them up and I'd get the commission. I'm like, yeah, that was all easy, that was all fun. You see? So money is extremely hard to make, but it is illegal to make, and you don't want to make money. You want to acquire it. How do you acquire it? By putting good out into the world, putting value out into the world, and letting it come back. Okay? Now, also, in case you didn't know, there is that of a video on 7 habits that made me a millionaire. You can see that below. Just wanted to let that know. Maybe watch that after this video. That video got way more energy and attention than I thought, so I'm happy that people resonate with it, but I kind of made this video inspired off that video. So that was the third thing, is that money is bad. Now here's the fourth thing that's also probably one of the most important. You get in life a reflection of what you believe you deserve. Do you believe you deserve money? Because if you say, I don't deserve it, I'm not worthy, I'm not worthy, then guess what? Money can't come into your life. It's money is imagine, I just watched this movie called Shang-Li or something like that. It's some Marvel movie. And there's this cute little animal with no face. It's walking around, it's super smart and intelligent. Imagine this little animal's walking around and it wants to come to you. But if you don't feel worthy of it, you're like, no, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. And it's all right. And it just turns around and goes away. So it's about realizing your sense of worthiness. When you start to believe you're worthy, you will get more of that into your life. Now, an example of this is lottery winners. How many people win the lottery, win maybe even 20, 30, 40, 100 million, or just $1 million? And within 2 years, it's all gone. It's all gone. Why? because they don't believe they deserve it. They didn't work for it. But many people believe they have to work for their money. But instead, if you realize it's about adding value, I think it's a more beneficial system. I know some people that are manifesting, they're like, I just want a handout. I want someone to give me something. I'm sorry to tell you that if that's the mentality, it's going to be very hard to become, like, millionaires aren't people that got it handed out to them. And unless you're like, was that movie Anchorman where the guy was in it and he was like, I started out with an investment of only $2 million and now, or $20 million, and now I have $22 million or something. Like his dad gave him the money. So, but other than that, there's no handouts. It's like you are it. And when you have the, like, part of this is your self-image too, which we'll talk about in a minute, but worthiness. And the reason lottery winners win all that money and lose it all is because they don't believe they deserve it. And it's also not a part of their natural self-image to have it. They're like, they don't know, they also don't have the skills and the ability to, like, manage it. So it's like a little kid's getting a whole bunch of money and there's, I'm gonna spend it on this, I'm gonna spend it on Oreos, I'm gonna spend it on 2,000 Twinkies, I'm gonna spend it on dirt bikes. And they're like, oh, I have to pay 40% tax. I don't have 40% of the 20 million because I spent 16 million. And then they're screwed and they're bankrupt and they gotta get rid of everything they bought. Happens very often because they don't believe they're worthy. So part of their self-conscious beliefs is that they did throw it out. And even sabotage, when I started making money, I remember thinking to myself, like, do I deserve this? Is it this easy for me to make this much money? One of the first game changers is I met somebody on YouTube that had way less subscribers than me, but was making 25 to 30K a month. And I was over here making like 3,000 to 5,000 a month. And I'm like, what does he know that I don't? So I started learning internet marketing. And then I learned how to make courses and all this other stuff. That's where my life really changed because I was able to scale. But I had to ask myself, am I worthy of this? And then I realized, and I had to go down to my beliefs about my parents, my parents' beliefs about money, and I had to, like, let this stuff go. And once I did that, it changed absolutely everything. So you are worthy of abundance. It's about getting to the core belief that says you're not worthy and questioning it and realizing that you are worthy. And if you haven't been through the 21-day Raise Your Vibration Challenge yet, a whole section of it is about money beliefs and letting go and looking at your sense of worthiness, your ability to not feel abandoned, your sense of trust, all these different things. But it's life changes, 21 days into a new higher vibrational you. You can join it by clicking the link below. Join the High Vibe Challenge if you haven't already. If you have joined it, comment below your experience in the High Vibe Challenge. I was at an event the other day. That wasn't my event. I was seeing a buddy of mine who does, public speaking for a living, and I had about 100 people were there, and about 10 to 15 people came up to talk to me because they recognized me from my videos, which I had no idea people were going to recognize me at this conference. And 3 or 4 of them were like, I was in your Raise Your Vibration Challenge. I was in your Magnetic Love Challenge. And they kept, so I didn't realize how many, there's now been over 10,000 people that have been through these challenges. So, but it was really cool to see. And there was people around me that were like, I got to get part of your challenges. I've seen 3 people come up to you and say that they were in your challenge and it changed their life. So if you haven't done those yet, click the link below. But anyways, worthiness. How worthy are you? Now, the last thing I want to talk about and the last belief you want to do, and it's kind of like a belief, but it's kind of like, it's more so just your self-image. How do you view yourself? What is your identity? Now, the way that it works is our identity and our beliefs about who we are is at our core. Until we question this or become aware of this will drive most of our life. Our patterns and our habits and our behaviors are around that small circle. And we will naturally take action and feel emotions equal to our identity. So the thing you want to do is you want to become aware of your identity. How do you view yourself? And if you view yourself as making $60,000 a year, then you will sabotage yourself if somebody offers you $80,000 a year, or you will lose that money or something to get yourself back to what feels comfortable and familiar. You have to expand your sense of self, and the way you do this is through doing things your old identity would have never done. I committed to making daily videos. I became a full-time YouTuber. I am now in the process of becoming somebody that's doing live events often. I'm going to be doing that, being that version of me and seeing myself already as that version of me. Your identity very powerfully controls many aspects of your life. So that's what I recommend you do. By the time somebody has become a millionaire or has attained that status, I guess you could say, in a way, it's not necessary that they see themselves as a millionaire. It's very important to take on that identity, but it's very important to let go of the old identity of being a 9-to-5 job goer. When I was a 9-to-5 job goer, my thoughts, my emotions, my actions were equal to going to a job where someone told me what to do. And I felt safe with that. It felt comfortable because I got a certain paycheck. I had to rewire myself and to start to see myself as someone that takes initiative. So if there's one piece of advice I can give you today is to take initiative and to start going after whatever your purpose is, whatever your passion is. Stop waiting. The blocks are always going to be there. There'll be blocks that say, am I good enough? There'll be blocks that say, I care what people think. There'll be blocks of money blocks that are there. Those blocks are going to be there regardless, so you might as well step into it and then let them dissolve as you go through it. I waited 2 years to get on YouTube because I thought I had to have all my blocks figured out. I had to be perfect at editing videos. I had to be perfect in front of the camera. But guess what? I waited. And I had to know just one more idea. I had to get some certification. No, you start right now. When you start meow, you start the process of shifting your identity, and that changes your life more than anything. So remember, money ain't bad. Money is just an exchange of value. It's a neutral idea that we can begin to adapt more into our life, and we can realize the more we put out, the more we get back. Realize there's more than one form of abundance. Abundance could be Bitcoin. Abundance could be an opportunity. Abundance could be a new job. Abundance could be a new relationship. Abundance is you get an abundance of opportunity by being in an abundant state and dropping the definition and the belief that money is the only form that can come in. Then thirdly, realize that, money is hard to make. Of course it's hard to make. It's illegal to make. You're not trying to make money. You're trying to vibrationally resonate with money by putting value out to then see it come back. So when you drop that, you then realize that it's much easier than you think. And when it's easier, it makes it so much when you believe it's easy, you allow it to be easy. The fourth thing is you are worthy. You are worthy of abundance. Drop the beliefs that you're not worthy, and realize that your degree of worthiness is a direct reflection that you're getting in your life. And then 5, realize that with this whole entire process, it all comes down to self-image. How do you view yourself? And if you view yourself as the YouTuber, as the version of you that's killing it in life, doing exactly what you love, you start to become clear as to what that is. That changes everything. There was a quote in the movie that I watched recently that said, if you aim at nothing, you will get nothing. So start to aim at something and you'll get something, but you get more clear what that is as you go, and you can change it as you go too. That changes everything. So if you like this video, and then comment below. Subscribe if you haven't already. We got more videos coming out. Let me know if you like these longer style videos, a little bit more in depth than normal videos. Let me know if you like those, comment below. And as always, peace, much love, and namaste.